of questions that in a general sense are all on the same issue. So I will read all of the questions and then provide answers as best as I can. So the first question is, what is the VSB actively doing to address the kindergarten waitlist around Falls Creek in the short term with the equivalent of 6 schools or more than 350 students placed on wait lists? And then we have, schools were created with the intention of allowing children who lived in walking distance to attend the schools. We are supposed to support all families to have access to free education. This is making it impossible. How is this problem going to help our global sustainable goal if we're expected to drive or rely on other means of transportation other than walking to and from school? And I've spent a lot of time talking to my community about the ridiculous current school situation. This is not a new problem. What is in place now to ensure that families in Vancouver will have safe local places for our children to go to school in the near future? Olympic Village School Bus talked about in 2010, and Olympic Village School was talked about in 2010, and when is it getting built? So based on data collected by parents between the 8 schools in Yaletown, Downtown, Falls Creek and Kitts, more kindergarten students were waitlisted than accepted. 340 accepted to 352 on waitlists. When will this situation be treated like the crisis it is? As a parent of a waitlisted kindergarten 2020 child at Simon Fraser Elementary, I am painfully aware of the crisis with regards to kindergarten spaces in the dense corridors of the city. The ministry does not look to be of much help due to their funding model. What creative solutions can we move forwards? Can we get a team working on new strategies? The numbers show the problem is only growing. And the kindergarten lottery system promotes a sense of desperation and despair for young families in, like mine, I think. All we want is our son to start school in September. Why not just register him? Why put us through this drama? And given Vancouver's first 6 big moves, 96% of Vancouverites by 2030 will be within walking distances of their daily needs. How will the VSB address lack of space in schools for children within catchment? So it's certainly the intention of the VSB, or certainly the desire of the board and district staff, to be able to provide in-catchment placements for every kindergarten registrant. We're in the difficult position of not being able to offer space to every in-catchment kindergarten child. We are maximising the use of all enrolling space, all classroom space in the schools that are full schools. We currently have 12 full schools, and we continue to submit capital plan requests to the Ministry of Education so that they can provide capital funding so that we can we can either build new schools or increase the size of the full schools. We are not able to control the capital funding. We have very limited capital funding ourselves. And in that sense, we're not able to control the money we spend on new schools, and we're typically not able to control the money we spend on new schools or expanded schools. So what we are able to do is to have a process in which there is a kindergarten draw or a clearly laid out process for the draw and for placing students in schools, for maintaining wait lists, and for placing students at a nearby school if that wait list continues to have students on it. So when the draw was done on February 19th, every in-catchment student has to apply to their catchment school. And as families accept places at choice programs, the numbers on the wait list will change. And as we then move into the cross-boundary placement, again, the numbers on the wait lists will change. And when those pieces are in place, our staff will be able to indicate to families the school at which their student could attend. And again, we would love to be in the position where we could say, come and register for kindergarten, and say, you know, we can, there will be a space in your catchment school. The numbers of students are increasing in these areas of the full schools, while the numbers of students in the district has been declining for a number of years and is now either declining less or somewhat flat. So while there are more students in some areas of the city, there are fewer students in other areas of the city. And the pressure on the full schools does seem to be increasing. And what a previous board did in response to that was to accept a proposal from BC Hydro, so that we would have money. You know, typically as a board, we do not have money to build schools, but a previous board accepted the proposal from BC Hydro so that we could expand the number of school spaces downtown through building the Cole Harbour, through building an elementary school at Cole Harbour, and then rebuilding Roberts Annex with the opportunity to increase the size of that school as the numbers of students downtown is so the possibility of increasing the size of Roberts Annex to match the enrollment or even the future enrollment of the number of students downtown at the time that that school is being designed. So the board in the past has been open to a creative solution to increase school size. This board is looking at options that we can do through our funding. You know, we are in a budget process at the moment. We continue to connect with the Ministry of Education. We continue to connect with the city. We know that the City of Vancouver has support, strong support for a school in Olympic Village, and to see what the possibilities are of working to find creative solutions to this problem, as we are not able to solve this problem on our own within the district. I would love to have an answer that said we could solve the problem, but we have to look at short-term and long-term solutions. And certainly, you know, our number one ask in the capital plan is to build a school in Olympic Village, which will address which will address the greatest need that we have in our district at the moment. So, with addressing the questions, we move to the adjournment. I look to trustees to see, sorry, we have trustees may wish to stay to speak to audience members. Need to adjourn the meeting, so I'm looking to trustees to adjourn by consensus. Is that all trustees? We have consensus to adjourn. So we have consensus to adjourn, trustees? Yes, and we can continue the conversation. So thank you, trustees. Thank you everyone for coming out this evening.